Hey, how's it going everyone? I hope that you guys are all having an amazing day. Hyper Scape is set to release a new update with a whole slew of changes, especially geared toward console and controller players. And we are going to quickly go over the patch notes in this video. If this video helps you out at all, then help me out by hitting the like button. Also, I have just recently started streaming over on Twitch, and we have been having an amazing time every stream, so if that is something you guys are interested in, then go give the channel a follow. The link will be on the screen and in the description, but let's cut the plug and get right into it. This update is going live Thursday at 9 AM Eastern, and I am just going to read these patch notes as they are presented to me, so let's just get right into it, starting off with some huge changes that console and controller players have been looking forward to, which is 2 new settings have been added for controller aiming. The first one is the aim response curve. They have added a classic curve or linear curve toggle. This is big because I know that a ton of controller players have been begging for the linear curves, so at least they're getting that in there ASAP. But the other controller setting that they added was aim acceleration toggle. It is on by default, but you can now toggle it off, which is another huge thing that hopefully helps controller players have a better time while aiming on Hyper Scape. The next thing that they added is the player profile and stats. You can now access your player profile and several lifetime stats from the Hall of Champions portal in the Hyper Scape hub. Quickly moving on to the next update, they added a player reporting screen from the elimination screen. So finally you are able to report a player if you think that they are suspicious from the elimination screen. That was definitely a big problem that I was having. Now hopefully they will allow you to spectate a player, or hopefully that is something that is coming, because I don't often want to jump to the conclusion of reporting a player. I like to spectate them first and actually witness them hacking before I go ahead and report them. But let's move on to some weapon changes that they made. So starting with the Hexfire, they changed the clip size from 150 down to 100. Now that is for the very base Hexfire, and it goes up from there, but it also was reduced from there. So a fully maxed out Hexfire used to have 270 ammunition, but now only has 180. They also reduced the overall aim assist that you get with the Hexfire. Moving on to the next weapon, which is the Mammoth, and that is the shotgun, and they have reduced the damage from 5 all the way down to 4, and a fully maxed out Mammoth used to have a damage of 7, but now will only have a damage of 5. They have also, to make up for the massive nerf to the damage, increased the clip size. Moving on to the Protocol 5, the damage fall off is now at 150 meters plus, and they've added a lens flare when aiming at contenders. So hopefully that'll help you figure out if you're being aimed at from a sniper and where from. Moving on to the next weapon, which is the Salvo, and they reduced grenades rebound by 20% to make them more predictable, and the proximity detonation radius was bumped up to 0.7 from the previous 0.65. Moving on to the last weapon that was updated, which is the Riot 1, and the damage across all fusions has been nerfed. So a fully maxed out Riot 1 used to do 38 damage and will now do 36. So moving on to some game mode and system changes, starting with the Crown and the Showdown phase of the match. The Crown Bearer cooldown penalty is now 300%, and it previously was 150%. So this is going to take twice as long for people who are actively wearing the Crown to be able to redeploy their abilities. The Crown victory timer has also been increased from 45 seconds to 60 seconds, and the Crown Bearer's outline is now in yellow. It was previously outlined in red. Moving on to some controller changes, they have done some stuff to aim assist, adding a slider from 0 to 100 and no longer just an on-off option. On top of that, aim assist for PC controller has been reduced. Moving into some mouse settings. For decimal mouse settings, settings for a mouse sensitivity are now offering decimal values on the sliders. So they also made some sensitivity setting changes that won't apply to anybody who's currently playing the game or adjusted their settings, but will apply to new players because default controller sensitivity values have been changed. The vertical sensitivity was dropped to 15, and the horizontal sensitivity was also dropped to 15. The aim down sight low zoom sensitivity is put at 40, and the aim down sight high zoom sensitivity was also put down to 40. They've also made some updates to the Twitch Crowncast extension. Kudos are now bigger and displayed for a longer time, and more kudos are displayed on screen for each activation by viewers. A minimum amount of 3 will be displayed. Moving on to some game events, the game event rotation is 3 events now when it was previously 2. Finally, moving on into just some general bug fixes. I'm just going to read these out as quickly as possible. For the online mode, they fixed an issue where players from other regions than Americas would get matchmaking errors when not able to ping any data center. They also fixed an issue where long matchmaking times would occur during high loads if you were part of the last players to join in the queue. Some bug fixes that they made with hacks is they fixed an issue where challenges requiring eliminations or assists would not progress or complete when using the mine hack. Some gameplay bugs that they had fixed were they fixed an issue where picking up weapons from the ground would sometimes cause them to disappear, and they also fixed an issue where contenders would sometimes get stuck under the map before the eliminated screen appeared at the end of a match. Some UI bug fixes that they made is they fixed an issue where the incorrect month was displayed during the incoming maintenance messages, and they fixed an issue where thumbnails for bundles were incorrectly resized when focused on in the weekly shop. They also fixed an issue where the string text was present during the crowning ceremony screen at the end of a match. So that was a ton of fixes and updates that they made to Hyper Scape. Hopefully the controller updates that they made have made the controllers better. Let me know down in the comments after the update goes live if it's any better for you on the controller. Hopefully it is. I'm really hoping that they got that all figured out, but that is all the information that I have for this video. I hope you guys all have an amazing day. I'm out.